Okay, so ang kulit eh. Paano ba na-off yung ano? Sige, bahala na. Okay. Yeah, so for tonight, I'll talk about a gem called json.api resources. So it's a gem for creating JSON API compliant APIs. So when creating APIs, usually when you look at the different APIs, there's different APIs have different ways of presenting their data. So a group of people came up with this JSON API spec. I mean, since we're Ruby developers, we're familiar with the concept of convention over configuration. So JSON API is kind of like that but for API endpoints. Anyway, there are a lot of Ruby gems that are meant for building JSON API compliant endpoints. But for me, I like this. Out of all of the options that we have right now, this is the one that I chose because it looks easier and it's actually more convenient than the other gems. So yeah.
Did you make it?
Huh? Oh no. Okay. I wish I did. Okay.
There is API.
Yeah. So the difference. So one of the options that I guess I was looking at 3 options. So I'm working on an app right now that has 2 parts: an API and then an Ember app as a front end. So for the API, I had 3 choices. So there's JSON API resources, there's the active model serializers, and then Rabble. So for the first thing that I looked at was the active model serializers. Unfortunately, it's a good gem, but the only thing it does is serialize the output. And since we want to follow the JSON API spec, that means that we would have to do a lot of manual work just to get the output that we want. And then the next one is Rabble. So Rabble they have a module for making JSON API compliant endpoints, but I don't know. I've used Rabble a lot in the past, and right now I just want something new. So Rabble, if you're creating, it's still kind of manual because so here's a sample. So if you're creating Rabble files, so you'd still have to create these things: the Rabble objects, the Rabble view files. So with JSON API resources, it's kind of similar to inherited resources, if you ever worked on that. So the idea is to write as less code as possible. So here's an example. So here's an app that I'm working on right now. So basically this right now the only thing this does is display a number of display the catalog of products. So yeah, so this is the route. So it's bigger. Okay. Yeah, so there's a products here that's supposed to return the list of products. So when you're doing that in JSON API resources, it's actually really simple. It's very quick. So first I made the model. So here's the model. Yeah, very simple model. And then for the rest of the stuff, the only thing you need to do is to create a resource object that corresponds to your model. So for product, there's product resource. So if you look at the code, it's kind of similar to active model serializers, where you define the attributes and you also define the relationship. Only a lot. If you write this, there's a lot of stuff that's happening under the hood. So you don't actually have to write a controller for that. So if you look at the controller here, this is what the controller looks like for that specific endpoint. A lot of these things are handled by JSON API resources through this object. So I define the name attribute, description, and the price, and then the relationship. So let's do a curl. This will work. I think there are no products here right now. Yes. I-off ko na yung notifications. Ano ba yan? Ayaw mo.
Live coding.
Yes, sorry. Zero pa din. Shit na, iloko-iloko ka.
Walang seed.
Walang seed. Meron yan. Sinanda ko ito eh.
Oo.
Shit.
Hindi, earth mo seed ulit. Baka hindi lang ako.
Okay, create na lang ng product.
Yes.
Okay. Then if we do a curl, so with very little code, this curl command outputs this. So let's format this. See, so this is compliant with the JSON API spec. So if you look at this sample here, yeah, so this is what the response looks like. So it has the links, it has the data, it also includes the relationships. And if you add, if it has a relationship, you can also query for the relationship. So for example, if our product is related to another object, you can request the specific product and its association. So in our case, I guess it's platform. So if I include platform here, include platform. So let's copy paste this. Okay, there. So it also outputs the relationship if you query for it, if you request for it specifically. So yeah, I think the great thing about this is that I don't have to think about the structure of the response. All I have to do is follow the convention here, and then I guess I don't know. Just look at the spec for how to do things. So, for example, so if you want to create a product, you just have to follow the example here, which I can't seem to find. There. See, so yeah, I guess that's it. Any questions? No. Yep.
Collection. It's something they choose.
Yeah, so it just follows the spec. So yeah,
It's like a NFC or something.
Huh?
It's a spec, a real spec, or it's something?
Yeah, it's a real spec. So if you go to json.api.org, it's there. Yeah, it's a real thing.
Okay.
It's enterprise JSON.
Okay. Yeah, I thought JSON was just to do whatever.
No. I think these people created this spec because they're tired of having to follow different conventions from different API resources.
How many people follow that?
Huh?
How many people follow it?
I don't know.
One of Terence does.
Yeah, so I'm one of them. So there, at least there's one. But yeah, I mean, if this is really useful if you plan to create a back end and then a front end using Angular or Ember, because this way you won't even have to work closely with the other team just to create what you need. Yeah. No, this is more for internal apps, not for third-party apps. Yeah. Any more questions? Right? That's it. All right. I think that's the